Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos and according to recent reports, Massimiliano Allegri has turned down the Arsenal job. Currently, Arsenal have got a list of managers on their agenda, who could replace Unai Emery, because obviously Unai Emery is under intense pressure at Arsenal. Obviously, reflecting on their disastrous start to the season. Obviously, Arsenal are enduring their worst run since 1998, which is obviously around 21 years ago. I think they are winless in their last five league games. So Unai is under intense pressure. Obviously, the vast majority of Arsenal fans are demanding him out. And I think, analysing it, Unai is totally comparison to Arsene Wenger. Obviously, Arsene Wenger did endure 22 years with Arsenal. You can say, analysing it, he enjoyed a good 12 or 13 years out of the 22 years he was there. But I thought actually, Arsenal played better under Arsene Wenger's guidance. And they're not, Umar has not exceeded expectations, as he should be. But he's only now into his second season with Arsenal. So yeah, so there has been a lot of talks anyway, going on about Massimiliano Allegri. Take into account not too long ago, he was linked with a move to Man United. Obviously, because Solskjaer is also under intense pressure at Man United, like Unai is at Arsenal. And obviously, Massimiliano Allegri at the moment he's currently managerless. Take into account he did step down as Juventus manager at the end of last season. Obviously, he enjoyed 5 years with Juventus. He won like five Serie A titles. Also progressed Juventus to Champions League finals. But obviously, Juventus had lost both of them finals. But he did say not too long ago that Massimiliano Allegri was learning English in preparation for his potential move. Because he's actually never ever managed in English football, or he's never played in English football. So far, Massimiliano Allegri has spent the entirety of his managerial career in the Serie A. Obviously, now emulated himself up and that over the years, because obviously, when he first started managing, he managed a small various Italian clubs, and also spent the entirety of his playing career in the Serie A. But I think he's been managing now for just over 16 years, because he began his managerial career in 2003. But at one point, Max Allegri was actually our primary candidate, to replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So reportedly now, I think Arsenal are very, very sceptical that Massimiliano Allegri will join them. I was reading one report, and there has been some talks about Freddie Lundberg, going to Arsenal. It said reportedly if they do sack Unai, it is likely that Freddie Lundberg will take over on an interim basis. Obviously, that doesn't mean permanently, so he'll take over temporarily. Don't forget, there has been talks about Mikel Arteta. Obviously, he's a former Arsenal player. At this present time, he's the coaching assistant at Manchester City. As I did give you the news yesterday regarding Nuno Santo, who is currently, the Wolves manager. He did actually, so well, a lot of reports were emerging out yesterday saying that Arsenal have identified Nuno Santo as their primary candidate. Obviously, that could actually be very beneficial for Arsenal Football Club, because obviously, Arsenal's head of football, Ralph Sanelli, obviously, has a strong relationship with Nuno Santos' agent, George Mendes. So I do presume, they do know each other, really, really well. And you've got to admire, what Nuno Santo has done for Wolves. He has been at Wolves now quite a few years. I think he's now been at Wolves over 2 years. Obviously progressed Wolves to 7th in the Premier League last season. So obviously now got obviously, with Wolves finishing in 7th last season, obviously, they automatically got qualification for the Europa League, and that's definitely, good to Wolves' standards. Obviously, they've invested, quite a lot of money. Obviously, a couple of years ago, he led Wolves to the Championship title and that. So maybe some Arsenal fans, do believe, he would be the right candidate, to elevate them forward. Obviously, before Nuno Santo was at Wolves, he was at Porto. He had a spell with Valencia, and he actually, began his managerial career with Rio Ave. So I think reportedly now he's Arsenal's primary candidate. Obviously, there's also been a lot of narratives going on in the mainstream media about Mauricio Pochettino and that. Obviously, Pochettino is also managerless at the moment. And, he's linked with quite a few clubs, so there's been possible talks about him going to Arsenal. There's also been talks about him, coming to Man United. And I think, he's also held talks with Bayern Munich as Mauricio Pochettino. And I think recently he did say that Barcelona had entered the race for him. Yeah, so obviously, I don't think he'll be long, before Mauricio Pochettino is back in management. Maybe some Arsenal fans, do believe, he would be the right candidate for them. Obviously, reflecting on what he did at Tottenham, because he was absolutely, fantastic at Tottenham, and I admire him, for what he did. He's, well Premier League proven. My only element of concern I have got about Mauricio Pochettino is that, he hasn't won out in terms of silverware and that. But, he's good at developing young players, and probably his philosophy, would be right for Arsenal Football Club. I think probably his philosophy, would be right for my club, Man United, and that. But we've actually, been long-term admirers of Pochettino anywhere, because obviously, before we recommended Ole Gunnar Solskjaer into the football club after the sacking of Jose Mourinho, Mauricio Pochettino was our primary candidate. But obviously, the reason we didn't get him, because at that point, Mauricio Pochettino was reluctant to leave Tottenham. And plus Daniel Levy is a hard negotiator, so I did put that into the equation. But, if we do decide to sack Solskjaer anywhere, I do want Mauricio Pochettino to become our next permanent manager, and that, if we do decide to sack him. And like I did say on my preview on my last video and that, and, I think, the next 3 games are going to decide Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial tenure at the club, and that, I think we need to win at least 2 of our next 3 games, if he's to remain in the job at Man United. But Solskjaer's obviously aware that he's under intense pressure at the football club. But like I said, I think Mauricio Pochettino's totally comparison to Solskjaer. I think he'd do a better job at Man United than Solskjaer is currently doing. I think he's also, a comparison to Emery. Like I said, but I did give you the couple of reasons, why our preference was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because obviously he knows the traditions of the club. Obviously, he was a cheaper solution. Obviously, would have had to pay quite a bit more in compensation, to recommend Mauricio Pochettino in. But yeah, so he is still linked with the Arsenal job and that. But you can't only just blame Emery and that. Obviously the vast majority of the blame does stem from him, because obviously he's tactically naive. His team selections are wrong. I think you've got to blame Arsenal's board as well, for not being more ruthless, regarding Emery. I think they're softening their stance on him. I think they do need to get rid of him and that. And if Arsenal's board did care about their club, then I think they would get rid of Emery. But you've got to say, Arsenal have got some good players in that team. Just like we've got some good players in our team, with Man United and that, and they're just not playing as a unit, and that is the problem. And we're in a similar sort of situation now to Arsenal anywhere. We're on the same kind of level, and that Arsenal. I think this is now their 4th season in a row. I think now in the Europa League. So we're on like the same kind of level, and I'm very sceptical about Arsenal getting that top 4 this season, but I'm also very, very sceptical about my club Man United getting that top 4. So I don't think either of us will get the top 4 this season, even though we've enjoyed our worst start to a Premier League season for over 30 years. And obviously, Arsenal are doing really, really poor. I still believe, it's between us or Arsenal, to currently win the Europa League and that. But, I think Arsenal probably, still need to get rid of more players. I think their recruitment's been very poor for several years, and that they did get quite a few players. They did get quite a few players in during the summer and all that. They did get quite a few players in, during the summer and that. They got Kieran Tierney in for 25 million. They got William Saliba in. They got Nicholas Pepe in for 70 million. He hasn't performed to the standards as Arsenal, expected from him. Obviously they got David Luiz in for like £8 million. But Arsenal have got to address their defensive deficiencies, because defensively, they're really, really poor. They can show great attacking intent. They can score goals, and sometimes they can create a chance in that. But they're just defensively, very, very poor. Arsenal obviously, are the record holders of the FA Cup. They've won more FA Cups, than any other English team, and that. They are currently on 13, so they have got a pretty decent history behind them. But they've been a toxic club, for several years. Just like my club, Man United. Yeah, so probably furthermore investment is needed in Arsenal's squad. Obviously, Arsenal have made mistakes, you've got to say, before, and that, one of the mistakes you could say was getting rid of Sanchez. Some people say they should have got rid of Ozil over Sanchez. But look at the players they've got in the team. They've got Aubameyang and Lacazette. When they're on fire and when they do play together, they do complement each other well, and they are a fantastic partnership. Again, Doozy can play well for them. Xhaka, when he wants to, he can play well. I know he's recently had disputes with Arsenal anywhere. But yeah, you've got to say, they have still got some good players in their team. But I don't think it will be long, before Unai Emery is sacked. I think they're going to probably give him another 2 or 3 games, see what happens and that. But obviously, Unai Emery has won trophies. Obviously he hasn't won out at Arsenal yet. But before he went to Arsenal, he won like a couple of trophies with PSG. He also won some silverware with Sevilla. But it just isn't right for Arsenal Football Club. So they need to see a variety of changes. I think maybe they need to get rid of their board. I don't know. They definitely need a change of management and that. And so maybe Nuno Santo would do a good job with Arsenal, because of what I've seen of him, he's done a really, really good job with Wolves. And if he was to go to Arsenal, I probably would be convinced he could replicate Arsenal, what he's obviously done with Wolves, and all that. Pochettino, I think, definitely would do good in that. Don't forget, at one point, Arsenal were in for Jose Mourinho. Obviously met up, I think, with Raul Sanelli. Obviously, at one point, before Mourinho got recommended into Tottenham and that, a lot of Arsenal fans, I presume wanted him in, but obviously now he's at Tottenham, he's Jose Mourinho, and Mourinho's enjoyed a fantastic start, to his managerial career at Tottenham. Done really, really well. He's won 2 games out of 2. Well, he's won 1 league game. He obviously won 1 game in the Champions League. Tottenham showed good determination, to come back from a losing position, because they were 2-0 down against Olympiacos, but they did come back and win the game by 4 goals to 2. But my overarching view on it, definitely, I think, Jose Mourinho will succeed as manager of Tottenham, definitely, because Jose Mourinho, is regarded as one of the best managers in the world. He's got a fantastic pedigree. He's won 25 major honours so far in his managerial career. Managed various clubs and emulated himself over the years. He's on a substantial amount, is Mourinho, now at Tottenham per year. He's on around 15 million a year. So that's obviously almost double than what Mauricio Pochettino got, because Mauricio Pochettino only got around 8.5 million a year. Obviously, because Pochettino did initially sign a 5-year contract when he was at Tottenham in the summer of 2018. But yeah, I think he'll do really, really well with Tottenham, and he's got around, is it a 4-year contract now with them, because he signed a contract with them until the end of the 2022-23 season. But I think he'll, do really, really well. And even recently, Solskjaer gave his overarching view on Mourinho's return, and he said it's actually, very, very ecstatic news for the Premier League. And I did give it a couple of reasons why his, 2.5 year tenure at Man United didn't, work out. Is because obviously he had bad disputes with the board, he had bad disputes with the top players. The board weren't back in the signings, that he wanted to recommend in to the football club last summer. But Jose Mourinho still won silverware with Man United. He won the Europa League and the League Cup and that in his first season. Also the Community Shield, if you want to put that into the equation, doesn't really count now. And he did spend a substantial amount at Man United. He spent 400 or just under 400 million pounds on 11 players. I thought he also did very, very good with Chelsea. He enjoyed 2 spells with Chelsea. Won 3 Premier League titles with them, won the FA Cup. Obviously, got sacked by Chelsea in the end. Obviously, something to do with the club doctor, I think it was. It was something to do with the club doctor. And, he won the Champions League with Porto and Inter Milan. So he's actually now a very, very good manager. But I think, I've got to say Mourinho is inheriting a lot of young players in that Tottenham squad. He's also inheriting, quite a lot of average players. So I think he's going to look to, rebuild next year. So he's going to look to make more investment in the Tottenham squad. He's Mourinho, because obviously none of them players are his. The vast majority of them players are Mauricio Pochettino's, because Pochettino did spend quite a bit at Tottenham over the 5 years he was there. I think he spent around 200 odd million pounds or something like that. But I think he'll do really, really well. But yeah, definitely Arsenal need a change of management. I think my club Man United do need a change of management, definitely, because Solskjaer isn't the long-term future for the football club. Like I said, Solskjaer has got a 3-year contract with Man United. He'd signed this 3-year contract when he had been given the job permanently back in March earlier on this year. I'm very, very sceptical anyway that he's going to see out his 3-year contract. I will be very, very surprised if Solskjaer is still at Man United at the end of the season. Could still be there in January, but I'm very sceptical about him being there at the end of the season. And like I said, I was reading recent reports and it did say we could actually sack Solskjaer and recommend Mauricio Pochettino in after the 7th of December, which is obviously not a long away now. But I think it's dependent on the next 3 games, to be quite honest with you. But definitely Solskjaer is still under intense pressure and that, just like he was before the Liverpool game. And I think like the draw against Liverpool and the win against Norwich and that, they were the type of games in that current period, that you could arguably say saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial tenure at the football club. But obviously, like I've said to you, it's going to cost us a lot of money to sack Solskjaer. It's going to cost us a substantial amount, basically. I don't think we'll have to pay as much as we did do to get rid of Jose Mourinho, but we're still going to obviously have to pay something in compensation. Solskjaer is on a 7.5 million annual salary, don't forget. Yeah, but it will cost us quite a bit of money, to currently get rid of him, Not obviously due to having consistency for the vast majority of this season. Obviously, not all the blame stems from Solskjaer. He's accountable for some of it, but not all the blame does stem from him. But I don't only believe that we need a change of management. I think we need to recommend a new board in, because our current board has been a liability for several years. I think we also need to get rid of Ed Woodward, even though he recently did a short world-class signings at Man United. And I still believe there's more players that need to leave the football club, because I still believe these are problematic players at Man United. I still believe another 4 or 5 more players do need to go, definitely. Obviously, you've seen, my preview for the FC Astana, Man United game. I did my preview yesterday. Obviously, I did my reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference, this morning. Obviously, I interpreted, some of the stuff and that, he had mentioned from his press conference. And, you've got to say now that the Europa League is a priority for us. You've got to probably say it's more of a priority than the Premier League is the Europa League, because I think now it's our only route to Champions League football for next season is progressing in the Europa League. And the positive is, we are into the knockout stages of the competition. We've still this game, in a couple of hours, and well, we've got 2 games remaining, haven't we? But it's regardless of what happens, we already are into the knockout stages of the competition. But I still think we're capable of winning the Europa League. We did it a couple of years ago under the Jose Mourinho era. But we are sitting at top of Group L. We're 4 games in. We've played 4 games in the Europa League so far. We've registered, obviously, 10 points from a possible 12. We've won 3, we've drawn 1. But this is our 5th game, against FC Astana. FC Astana are very, very poor. Obviously, they haven't registered 1 single point yet in the group. They've obviously lost all their 4 games. But yeah, it doesn't really matter what happens in that. But I think it's, like I said, it's only our route to Champions League because we're sitting 9th in the Premier League at the moment. We're 9 points behind top 4, and we're not going to get the top 4 this season. I'm very, very sceptical about it. I'm probably stupid to fully disregard it, because anything can happen. We're only 13 games so far into the Premier League season. There's a lot of twists and turns to come. But I'm very sceptical that we will get that top 4 this season. But I've got to be honest with you anyway. I think our aspirations will be that top 4 in the next couple of seasons. But looking forward to the game against FC Astana. Obviously, Solskjaer knows now with qualification in the bag. He's obviously, making a lot of alterations in the squad. Obviously, sees this competition. Solskjaer sees this competition and actually the Carabao Cup I'll put into the equation as more chances, to give the youngsters more experience. Like I did confirm to you guys, Solskjaer's named obviously a lot of named a young squad for the trip to Kazakhstan. Obviously around 14 teenagers have been included, so the vast majority of them are actually teenagers. He's only actually named 4 senior players. They're only included in the squad 4 senior players, and that's Luke Shaw, Tuan Zebe, Jesse Lingard and Lee Grant. And Lee Grant, who is currently our 3rd choice goalkeeper, he's set to make his full debut, which is obviously very, very good. Like I said, Luke Shaw's been out with a hamstring injury. He hasn't initially played since the 2-1 home defeat to Crystal Palace. So Luke Shaw, he's now back from injury, which is very, very good news. Tuan Zebe has been out with a hip injury. It's good to see him back in action. Jesse Lingard, as you all know, was injured earlier on in the season. I think he's endured a very difficult time this season. As Lingard, it's been confirmed as well. He's going to be going to be captaining the team against FC Astana. So it'd be interesting to see how he reacts to that. Is he going to put a good performance out? Solskjaer also did confirm by the way, like he updated you on, my reaction to his press conference, that Ethan Laird, there were talks about him before saying he could have made his debut, but he didn't. But he's going to be making his debut tonight. There's going to be around 4 players making their senior debuts tonight. Ethan Laird's one of them. Dylan Levitt, he's another one of them who's going to be starting. And who's the other one called now? And Deshaun Bernard, he's another one of the players that's going to be playing. So yeah, I think he'll probably go. He could go with 3 at the back tonight. He could go with a 4-2-3-1 formation. Solskjaer, like he has been doing on a regular basis this season. But he's going to make a variety of changes, which is good. Which is obviously not very, very good. I do presume that Mason Greenwood, should be starting, because I know he hasn't yet started in the league. Mason Greenwood, obviously he's made a lot of substitute appearances in the league, but he started in quite a few cup games. And Greenwood's obviously got 4 senior goals this season for Man United. He scored his first league goal in the 3-3 draw against Sheffield United and that. But I can assure Greenwood will become a success at the football club, so fair play to him for that. Brandon Williams, I do believe he should be getting he should be given another chance tonight. I've been very, very impressed with Brandon Williams. You know, he's been absolutely fantastic for us in the games he has played. And now Solskjaer's revealed that he is his first choice left back, as I think he's a much better solution, should I say, than Ashley Young. He's a better solution than Luke Shaw, despite the fact, you know, that Luke Shaw's been our first choice left back for quite some time and that. But Brandon Williams is another one of the young upcoming players, you know, that will become a success, definitely. Solskjaer also, you know, praised Max Taylor. Now, he's another one of the players that's made the journey to Kazakhstan. And Max Taylor, don't forget, you know, he survived cancer. Solskjaer obviously, you know, says obviously nobody, you know, has to go through, you know, something like that, but obviously, you know, he's praised him, you know, the way he's, you know, gone through with it and the way he's handled it and that. So maybe we may see him, you know, being involved tonight. I've never heard of him. I've just seen it on a couple of reports regarding Max Taylor. But obviously, you know, he's another one of the youngsters. Just want to confirm, like I've said, that Nicky Butt has also, you know, made the trip to Kazakhstan. Michael Carrick and Kane McKenna have actually now remained in Manchester. So, you know, they having. We know that obviously, you know, Bay, I think, still out. Dalot's still out. Fossil Mensah's still out. Even though prior to the Sheffield United game, Solskjaer did confirm that, you know, they all returned to training, but they're trained away from the rest of the squad and that. You know, Bay's been out with a knee injury. Fossil Mensah's been out with a knee injury. Dalot's been out with some kind of leg injury. He's actually, you know, sustained quite a few injuries, you know, this season. You know, obviously we know Pogba and McTominay, obviously, you know, are not going to be playing this evening. I think McTominay's out until Christmas. You know, Pogba, well, Solskjaer did confirm he's not expected back till December. Recent reports have confirmed that Pogba, you know, should return in like 9 or 10 days. Well, it said 10 days yesterday, so obviously now it will be 9. There was rumours emerging out saying that he allegedly was faking his injury, you know, to force the move away from Man United to Real Madrid, because he's actually had an ongoing ankle injury for a long time, and this is why he has missed the vast majority of our games this season as Pogba. But you've got to say, you know, he's been a big miss in that midfield, definitely. But yeah, so it's good now. Obviously, you know, more players are recovering from injury. So, like I said, I will be doing match reaction. It probably, you know, will be tonight. It won't be straight after the game and that. It will be tonight, obviously. And yeah, and that's about it. So the main part of this video was to give you the news regarding, you know, Massimiliano Allegri turning down the Arsenal job and that, and, you know, just wanted to give you a bit more of an update on it, basically. I think Arsenal themselves playing the Europa League tonight as well. But yeah. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care, God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.